In this session, we are going to discuss about XML query requirements. In order to understand the XQuery, we must recall the concept behind RDBMS or DBMS. In the database management system or relational database management system, the data is stored already in the database in the form of table and databases permanently. Whenever the user requiring any of the data, they must raise the query, SQL query. That SQL query is executed by the query engine, and then you will be getting the result of previously executed query. Similarly, XML query language is available. XML query language is available in order to make a query to XML documents. As we know that XML document where we can store all of our data, whenever needed, we are able to send query and we are fetching the related data from the XML document, and we can make use of those data for further processing. And also, we must recall, in XML document, it is converted into node tree. It is converted into node tree. What are all the elements available in the XML document? Everything should be converted into node tree. I mean, XML document, which is nothing but root element, sub elements, and attributes, values, text, namespaces, and so on. So each and every component of XML document is converted into node tree, and it is available for executing your query. Here in XML concern, we are not using SQL queries. We are not using SQL query. A separate query language is available for creating and executing queries on XML document. We are going to see that XML query requirements. The concept wise, XML query and SQL query is same concept wise, but syntax wise and where we are going to search the information, that may be different between XML query and SQL query. The target is different in XML query, XML document, SQL query, database and tables. See, in database and tables, all informations are available in the form of records, organized form of records. But here in XML, it is available in the node tree or node set. So first we will discuss the goals of XML query. In order to execute XML query in the respective XML document, first need to produce a data model for XML document. Whenever the XML document is transformed into a specific data model, then only we are able to make a query to the specific data model and we will be getting the result from the query execution. And second one, set of query operators need to be defined. Set of query operators needs to be defined on the specific data model, because the query language is based on the query operators only. Query operators can make the SQL query, so that we need to define set of query operators for the specified data model. And another point you should remember that the query can be executed or processed on a single document, a single XML document, or multiple documents of fixed size. And then entire document may be taken for query processing, or a part of the document can be taken as a source for executing the query, subtrees of the document. Whenever we are giving some conditions, then it searches for the matching of the given condition in the document set or documents, and then it checks with the structure also. A new document is constructed based on the selection, because we are giving some conditions. The conditions executed and matched with the existing documents. If it matches, then we will be getting some result. That result comes in the form of new documents based on the selection. And next one, the user scenario available in the XQuery. There are several user scenarios are described in which the XML query may be used for processing. It may be used not in a single environment, not only with a single environment, but also we are applying XML queries to multiple environments. For example, human readable documents. All kinds of human readable documents we are able to apply XML queries. And then data oriented documents. Suppose the document is available in the form of data only, username, address, and come to our data set 1, data set 2, and so on. In such a way, the document is available. We are able to apply XML query in those documents also, and mixed model documents. Human readable, textual content documents and data oriented documents. Both can be combined together, and it is available in the mixed model documents in which we can apply XML queries. And administrative data, when you take an application, railway reservation or Indian Railway, let us say, lot of apart from the reservation cancellation like user or customer related data, apart from that, several administrative data needs to be maintained in a document. We can apply XML query in those administrative data also. And then filtering streams. Sometimes the data available locally. Sometimes the data may be available. The document set or data model may be available in the distant object or any network node. If you want to access or if you want to apply the XML queries to any networking node, it is possible only through streams. We can apply XML queries to those kinds of filtering streams. And then document object model. Actually, the document object model is a structure in which we can apply cross-platform. It provides cross-platform interface as well as language-independent interface, right? Cross-platform interface as well as language-independent interface is provided by the document object model. How this is provided means it defines a common tree structure. Document object model is defining a tree structure. If you are giving any document in either in XML or HTML or any other form, if you are giving any document, that should be represented in the tree structure. Thereafter, we are able to apply XML queries into that newly constructed document object. See, each and every node in the tree is an object. Each and every node in the tree is an object, so that we call it as document object model. We are able to apply XML queries in DOM. And then native XML repositories and web servers. See, sometimes XML may follow some common format or proprietary solutions is also or proprietary format may also available for XML. Those kind of proprietary form of XML available in a server called as repositories. That is called as native XML repository because it depends on a specific format only. The content is not reflecting the global format of XML. In such case, also we are able to apply or able to process XML query into native XML repositories as well as web servers. Web servers contains a global form of, the XML document in universally acceptable format that is available in the web server. Either we can apply the XML query to generalized XML document or native XML repositories. Next one, catalog search. When you take an internet, it contains lot of servers, lot of web documents and so on. The catalog search provides the searching capability in which we are getting the results of number of documents and number of websites, web servers and so on. Metadata, we can say metadata. Metadata searching is possible where we can apply the XML query, we will be getting the catalog search. And then multiple syntactic environment. We know that internet consists of more than one syntactic form or heterogeneous environment. In those heterogeneous form also we are able to apply XML queries and execute XML queries, and we will be getting the results from the query processing. As I said previously, human readable document, we are able to perform queries on structured document such as technical manual. Individual element of the document can be retrieved by using XML queries, or a collection of documents elements, collection of document element retrieved in the form of tables. And then we are able to search the structure also. We are able to search in the structure, as well as we are able to create new document from the result of the query. And data oriented documents, already I told that the content of the document is mainly focusing on data. Mainly focusing on data. It means traditional data source or data object and so on. In this case, by using XML query, we are able to transform data into new XML representation, or we are able to get data from the multiple sources. We are able to get the data from the multiple sources and integrate together, and will be getting an integrated form of data from multiple data resources. Mixed model content, both the contents available here. We are able to execute our XML query in the mixed model documents. Administrative data. If we are implementing, or if we are installing a software, then the configuration files or user profiles or administrative logs may be available. Those informations are represented in the form of XML. We are applying or will be giving XML query and executing XML query on those administrative data in the form of XML, and you will be getting some results. Filtering stream, it performs query on the stream of XML data. I told that stream of XML data, which is nothing but it may be retrieved from the networking node. In such case, R, we are getting the data document or data model, and we have to apply some filtering conditions or constraints. We are going to apply some filtering conditions or constraints that can be possible. You are able to apply Unix filters or any kind of filtering concepts and extract the data from XML streams. Similarly, we can give or we can transfer data to an XML document through streams. That is also possible. And then document object model. It is a structure in which all elements of the document represented in the form of node. Each and every node is an object, and also it provides cross-platform and language-independent interface in which we are able to make XML queries and gets a result. And native XML repositories, able to apply or able to perform queries on collection of documents managed by the XML repositories, as I said previously. Then catalog search and multiple syntactical environments. Queries may be used in many environments, the XML page or URL or JSP, ASP and so on. That's why I told internet contains an heterogeneous environment. We are able to apply XML query into that kind of heterogeneous environment. And then very important topic, requirements, general requirements of XML query language. The query language syntax should be right? Query language syntax should be able to bind it with multiple or more than one syntax, right? The query language provides support for more than one syntax binding, and then the query language should be easily readable as well as writable by human beings. Then only the users can make use of XML query for their own requirements or their own processing. Suppose the query language syntax is very harder to read, understand and write, definitely it will not be reached with the customer or reached with the user. So that the XML query syntax must be in readable format as well as writable format. It should be less complex. And then we are making SQL query language syntax. That syntax should be comply with the XML document structure. See, you are giving some syntax. You are not able to use the syntax in the XML document because XML document structure is different than the syntax. No use because of this, right? No use for this kind of syntax. So, the query syntax must be complied with XML document structure. And then next one, declarative. The requirement should be declarative. Already predefined one, right? Predefined one. Everything should be a declarative one. If you want to use a syntax on the specific data model, it is already declared. So, you cannot customize, right? You cannot customize. See, customization possible in the definition level, not in the usage level, right? Definition level, it is possible. But usage level, what is already available, you can make use of that. Protocol independence. When you take the internet environment, lot of protocols are available. Lot of protocols available, HTTP, FTP, SMTP and so on. Lot of protocols are available in the internet. The XML query language should be protocol independence. In any protocol, the language, query language should be accessible and usable. And next one, error conditions. Query language syntax or query language should define what are all the possible error conditions. There are several possible error conditions may occur during the execution of the query. That should be premeditated and then well in advance, the query language should define all error conditions and equivalent syntax must be provided by the language. All possible or maximum possible error conditions should be premeditated and then the language should define some error handling mechanism for all those error conditions. That error conditions may occur during the execution of the query. While we are processing the query, unavailability of external functions or external internal functions and so on. You are going to search the content in a particular source, the source may not be available. This is very frequent error condition. The language should handle this error condition and should provide mechanism for handling those error conditions. And then next requirements, updates. Updates is possible, right? Update should be possible in the query language because today we are using some query language based on the current requirements. In future, the requirement set may be different. In future, the requirement set may be different. Additional requirements may be included. In such case, the query language should be able to add any new things which is required for future enhancement. That is called as update. In such a way, the query language should be designed. And then it must defined with finite instance. Already I told that it is working on data model or data object. So finite number of instances should be defined in order to work with XML query language. XML query language. And then Already I told that the document must be converted into a query model. Query data model where we can apply the XML query. The data model relies on informations provided by the XML processor and schema processor. See, if you want to execute XML document, we need XML processor. In the XML processing concern, if you are using any syntax, that should be referred in the schema. In such case, the schema processor also provides certain information regarding the structure of the document. XML processor processing the document based on the structure. So, these two processes will provide information to the data model, and that will be used. That will be used in the XQuery. XML query data model should represent all information. And then it contains data types, collections, references, and then namespace awareness. See, what is namespace? Logically related classes or context grouped together, and it is available within a single umbrella is called as namespace. That namespace awareness, see, you take the XSL : style sheet, XML NS : XSL. Before the style sheet, we are using XSL. In several places, we are using XSL prefix. That XSL should be defined one. It is available in the namespace. So, XML NS : namespace : XSL. It should be XML namespace awareness. Schema availability. It means, as I said previously, for the document structure, we must define, and it should be comply with schema. Schema availability is important for the query data model. It includes that. Right? So, these are all the things you need to study in the XML query requirements. The remaining topics we will see in the next class. Thanks for listening. Thank you.